Hi, in this lecture we are going to talk about password recovery. So most of the web applications have some kind of feature to recover lost or forgotten passwords. Since it affects the login credentials, it's pretty critical that these features work properly. Such a feature can contain various vulnerabilities from injection problems to logical flaws. So the spectrum is pretty wide, although usually the feature itself is pretty simple. So let's have a look at the Voice of the Emperor, and then we will see how it works there.
Rise, my friend.
Alright, so go to the login page. And then you will see that here there is a link what to do if you have forgotten your password. So let's open. And it says that it wants your username. So let's check first with a non-existing username to see what happens in that case. Say reset, profile not found. And let's check with the admin. Reset. We have sent you an email to confirm your password change. That's wonderful. So you can see in case the profile exists, then an email is going to be sent. Of course, this application cannot send emails because it's a closed system, but it's supposed to send an email. If the profile doesn't exist, then it just gives back the error message. So now you can pause a little bit and think about what's the problem here. How could an attacker exploit this feature? All right, you might have figured out, but of course I will tell you anyways. The point is that the two responses are different because it allows an attacker to brute force username. Basically, he can check all possible usernames and he will know which one has a profile in the system and which doesn't. Now you might ask again, why does it problem if somebody finds out your username? The username is usually not a confidential data. Yes, but this is the first step to brute forcing the password. Because if you start brute forcing the whole login without knowing the username or the password, then if an attempt fails, then you will never know whether the username was wrong or the password. So the problem is that if you don't know any of them, then you have to test the whole Descartes multiplication of the username and password set, which means that your test set is going to explode and you're going to be brute forcing forever. Now we don't want that, so a much better way to do it is to find a way to first brute force the username, to figure out at least one existing username, and then start to brute force the password for that user. In this way, you can make sure that your test set is not going to be too big. Although this is not a high risk vulnerability, but it shows how low risk problems can be combined to achieve a critical result. So when you are testing, always think about how you could combine various vulnerabilities to achieve something with a bigger impact. Now, the best way to implement a password reset would be to ask only for the email address of the user and always tell the user that email is sent. This should be the response even if the profile doesn't exist. You can tell in the response that you sent an email. If it doesn't arrive in 1 day, then they should repeat the password reset request because maybe they made a typo in the email address. So it's possible, but the goal is to not disclose to the user whether there is really an account with this email address in the system. In this way, for people who actually know the email address, it's possible to reset the password. For people who are just trying to brute force it, they will never figure out when it was an existing email address and when it wasn't. As an exercise, you could try to implement a brute force attack against the username using this password recovery feature. You can do that in the same way as we did the password brute force, just you will use now this other form in the burp intruder. So try with that, and when you're ready, then I will see you in the next lecture. Bye.